Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notification.
The urgent need to have administrative headquarters of oil companies relocated to the Niger Delta, as resolved recently by the Senate, is receiving positive reactions from stakeholders in the region. Those in support of the lawmakers' attempt to facilitate relocation of oil and gas companies to the Niger Delta are of the opinion that it will promote harmonious relationship with host communities and end many years of administrative neglect of Nigeria's oil-producing region. The Senate recently mandated its committees on petroleum resources upstream and downstream to liaise with the executive arm of the federal government to ensure speedy relocation of oil and gas companies to their operational base in the Niger Delta. This followed a motion sponsored by a senator representing Akwa Ibom Northeast Senatorial District, Albert Bassi Akpan. Senator Akpan observed that having administrative headquarters of oil and gas companies situated outside the Niger Delta, where their operations takes place, has resulted in high production costs. In view of Section 257, subsection 2 of the Petroleum Industry Act, which places the responsibility of securing oil and gas facilities on host communities, Senator Akpan maintained that the oil companies were no longer justified in adducing insecurity for their exit from the Niger Delta.
This Senate assured that the relocation of these companies to their host communities will further boost development in those areas and enhance corporate social relationship and strengthen our collective resolve to considerably reduce the contentious costs of production and ensure adequate returns to the Federation accounts.
At the height of insurgency in the Niger Delta over a decade ago, most oil companies relocated their administrative headquarters to Lagos and Abuja, citing insecurity in the region as responsible for their relocation. However, relative peace has since been restored in the Niger Delta, following 2009 peace accord between the federal government and armed combatants in the region. In their submissions, Senators Biobarakuma Degi Eremeyon, representing Bayelsa East, and Nicholas Tofuwamo of Ondo South described the continued location of oil companies in other parts of the country as a deliberate policy to change the Niger Delta.
People that are hosting these facilities don't even know where the headquarters are located. And this is the source of some of the agitations and problems within the oil and gas producing communities, because they cannot easily access the management of these multinational companies to lay their complaints.
And I'm supporting this motion wholeheartedly, because what is happening presently can be tagged as hit and run. They take the resources from there, they took it elsewhere, they perform what they want to perform. And if you look at these areas, presently, pollution is very heavy in these areas. So it will be very meaningful if these industries can go back to where they originate all these raw materials.
The move by the federal lawmakers to have administrative headquarters of oil and gas companies relocated to the Niger Delta is considered most welcome in the region. Former member of the House of Representatives from Rivers State, Ogbonna Nwoke, believes it will bring an end to many years of injustice against host communities in the Niger Delta.
Those companies that are paying tithe, or if you like, tax to Lagos State should henceforth pay it to the area where they are taking the oil from. It just simply makes sense. You don't report to pay Peter.
It is the considered opinion of Henry Hqrts, a Port Harcourt resident, that the Niger Delta is currently the most peaceful region in the country, making it incumbent on the oil companies to return to their operational base.
We hardly relate to them. There is no way to relate with them. So if they are coming to be with us, I think it's going to bring a good relationship between the host communities and the oil company.
Relocation of oil companies to the Niger Delta was one of the 16 demands of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum PANDEV in its November 2016 meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari. After failing to act immediately on PANDEV's demand, the federal government in March 2017 directed the oil companies to relocate to the region, a directive that was never complied with. With the recent intervention of the Senate, those communities in the Niger Delta are hopeful that the oil companies will relocate as soon as possible, as they will most unlikely reap benefits of the newly enacted Petroleum Industry Act if the status quo remains.
Inside the Niger Delta,